The Bible is a living word that reads us as we read it. It's a person, a voice that proves that time is not linear, as one sentence can confirm the past, guide the present, and declare the future. You are here. I am here. He is here. We are here right now. In the tomorrow of yesterday and in the yesterday of tomorrow, I thank you for joining today. So we're back. Thank you so much for joining once again. So, in the last episode, we talked about the death of Abraham, in the birthing of Isaac and Rebekah's twin boys, Esau and Jacob. We also talked about the fact that God told Rebekah, even before they were born, that she was going to birth two rival nations, and that the oldest son, Esau, would serve the youngest son, Jacob. Okay, we talked about how Esau was a daddy's boy, Jacob was a mama's boy. They had their favorites. Esau was favored by Isaac, and Jacob was favored by Rebekah. And then we ended up talking about how Esau was starving one day. Jacob was cooking up a real good meal. And Esau was like, yo, give me something to eat. And Jacob was like, bet I got your back, but I'm going to give you something to eat if you give me your birthright. And so Esau was like, whatever, man, you got it. And so now just keep that in mind, because we're going to veer a little bit. And this was another part that I was going to just skip over, but I don't want to, because I think there's something that we can glean from it. But just keep though what we just talked about in mind, because in the episode after this one, we'll get back to that storyline. But here we have it. Um, Isaac, Rebekah, they're growing their family. They have Esau, they have Jacob, and they're living, but then their land experiences famine, which is scarcity of food. And so they have to move around because they got to find where the food is. And so Isaac moved to Gerar, um, which was a Philistine territory and it was under King Abimelech, who we've talked about before. I don't know if you remember King Abimelech, and how the same thing happened with Abraham and Sarah. They ended up going to the land of Gerar, and King Abimelech was the king at the time also. So here we have it. Famine hits. Isaac moves to Gerar. God tells him, yo, don't go to Egypt. But settle here. I will be with you. I'm going to bless you. I'm going to give you this land. I promised your pops that I'm going to give you many descendants, and your nation, your descendants are going to, all the nations are going to be blessed with your descendants. Like, he just kind of reminded him of what the promise was. And this may sound a little familiar, but when these men saw Rebekah, they were like, hmm, my, yes, Lord. And they were very attracted to her, I'll say. And Isaac was like, yo, that's, when the men went and they were asking Isaac about her, like, who is she to you? Like, Isaac's just like, yo, that's my sister. And y'all remember when Abraham and Sarah did that? When Abraham's like, yo, that's my sister, that's not my wife. Isaac did the same thing. And it was like there's this generational mindset of fear, because later on, Abimelech saw Isaac and Rebekah making out, and Abimelech goes and confronts Isaac like, yo, why would you lie? One of us could have taken her, and then the curse would have, or the punishment, the sin would have been on us. Like, why would you do that? And Isaac, same thing that his dad said. He's like, yo, I was afraid that if I said she's my wife, that you would have killed me. And Abimelech just set the record straight right there, and he let everybody know, like, y'all, if you touch her, punishment will be upon you. Like, leave them alone. Because I imagine Abimelech learned his lesson from when when Abraham deceived him and the Lord confronted Abimelech like, yo, touch him and die. And so Abimelech wasn't playing any games. He's just like, leave them alone. So anyway, Isaac and Rebecca kind of settled in this land, and it said that Isaac harvested 100 times more than what he planted. Run that back. Isaac harvested 100 times more than what he planted. Let it be so, Lord, that we will harvest 100 times more than what we plant. But also, let the seed that we plant be good seed, because to harvest 100 times more than what you plant, you hope you plant good seed. So watch the seeds that you're planting, because you would hate to have 100 times more negativity. Anyhow, Isaac has this really great harvest. The Lord openly blesses him. He's very rich. His wealth is multiplying and growing. And with this wealth and with this growth comes haters, inevitably, right? So now the Philistines are hating on Isaac, and they ended up dissing him in such a way. It was passive aggression because they filled his wells with dirt. And we talked about before how wells were like a stake in the ground. It was a way for you to say, yo, this I have ownership of this territory, of this land. It was also the way that that was their water source. So the people had to drink, the land had to drink, the animals had to drink. Like, it was just, to fill a well was like mad disrespectful, because it's just like, yeah, you no longer have ownership here, and we don't care about your well-being or your livestock's well-being. And so they filled all of these wells, and these were wells that Abraham dug, because wells were generational too. It was like, if I dig a well that belongs to me and mine, then when I'm gone, it belongs to mine, and when they're gone, it belongs to theirs. And so, um, as Isaac grew more wealthy and more powerful, Abimelech ends up sending him away. Like, yo, you gotta leave, because it's too much. And so Isaac moved around. And when he was moving around, he started to redig the wells that the Philistines filled. These wells that his father dug. He goes and he redigs it. He goes through the work to reclaim what his father worked so hard to give him. And he didn't disrespect the vision. He didn't spit on the blessing that his father worked hard for and fought for, and even had. I don't know if y'all remember when Abraham exchanged words with Abimelech and was like, yo, yeah, let's set this straight. We dug this well and your boys are trying to claim it. Like, but anyhow, Isaac honored and respected his inheritance enough to go and do the work to redig the wells and to reclaim the land. Because sometimes we're blessed with things that people want to take from us, and we just have to decide if it's worth it to us to fight for it. And Isaac realized, hey, it's worth it to me to fight for this. So he went through the work, he redug the wells, and down the line, he gets a visit from Abimelech, and Isaac's like, yo, can I help you? Cause didn't you send me away from your land? Like, what's up? I'm over here minding my business. You clearly hate me because you sent me away. And Abimelech's like, yo, no, man, like, we good. It's very clear to me that the Lord is blessing you. So I think we should be in a treaty together. Like, I think we should he now Abimelech did the same thing with Abraham. He's also an opportunist. He realized, yo, God blesses you. So I need to align myself with you. And that's what he did with Isaac too. He's like, yo, I see that God is blessing you. So we should be friends. Like, and let's just agree now that we're not gonna mess with each other. Like, I'm not gonna have beef with you. You're not gonna have beef with me, and we'll be good. And Isaac was like, all right, cool. So they made this agreement or this treaty with one another not to interfere in each other's business. And um Esau and Jacob are getting older. They make it to the age of 40 years old. And it said that Esau married two Hittite women, two of the Canaanite women. He married two of them. And mind you, these are the same women that Abraham told his servant, like, yo, do not let my son marry a woman from around here. Like, go back to the homeland because this ain't it. So Esau, in the same place, he's just like, yo, he connects with these two women. And it said that these two women made life miserable for Isaac and Rebekah. And because he just found himself caught up with the wrong ones. And so we are going to stop there for this episode because we're about to reshift back into this dynamic that Esau and Jacob have. But yeah, I just wanted to make mention of that because it really was this parallel between Isaac and Abraham, because we saw how Isaac took after his father by deceiving Abimelech and saying, yo, Rebecca's my sister. But we also see how Isaac understood what real generational wealth looks like. I think we use the term generational wealth. It's such a buzzword right now, and I don't know that we truly grasp onto what that looks like. But Isaac, in the same way that Abraham established, like, this is my well. I'm doing something not only for me so that I can have something to drink, but for my descendants to have something to drink. And now Isaac is in this space where those wells have been filled, where the Philistines are trying to reclaim the land and to interrupt the blessing and the flourishing of Isaac. And he's like, nah, not on my watch. And he goes and does the work to make sure that he is protecting the legacy that his father left for him. And so what does that look like for you in your life? What legacy are you protecting? What are things that your ancestors have done, or somebody, it could be someone specific, a grandmother, a grandfather, a parent, something that they worked hard for, that um that you can see yourself doing a better job of stewarding and maintaining. Just something to think about. But anyhow, I look forward to our next episode if the Lord should will me to record another one. Have a wonderful day. And until then, bye for now.